Good evening. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. My name is Savitri Krishnamurthy. Today I will be taking a second of my series of sessions on the writing ability test, the essay writing section in CAT during the GDPI stage. Right? If you've attended my first session, you know that I would be taking you through the basics on how do you start, how do you plan, how do you outline, and then we'll discuss the topic. All right. So if you can see me and hear me clearly, give me a thumbs up and let's quickly start the session. You can write a good essay in 10-15 minutes, provided you practice from today till the day of your interview, however soon or late that is. I assume you have at least 10 days. That means you can write at least 4 essays, if not more. All right. So what is the WAT section? You are asked to write on a topic. All right. The topic, the word limit is not given, but you can write a good essay, a complete, which will where you can explain your views on a topic in 350 to 500 words. Well, that's all you can write in the 15 to 30 minutes given to you. Why do I give such a wide range? Because it depends on the institute, it depends on the group. IMA is known to give 20 minutes. There, IM Lucknow had given 15 minutes for a group, or sometimes you are given 25 minutes. So assume that you will be given some 20 minutes. So assume that you have minimum 15 minutes to write an essay. All right. What are the topics like? Current events and issues, nothing that you do not know anything about. The biggest worry that students have is, what if I know nothing about the topic? If you have cracked CAT, you would have, if you're attending this session, you know that the interview in the interview stage, they normally ask you questions related to your background, your academic background, and a few questions related to what's happening in the world around you. So you must be reading newspapers and the current events and issues, the burning topics of the day. There would be editorials, there would be articles, there would be news reports. So the topics they ask you are generally related to these. So they ask you whether you agree. The question can be framed any which way. Generally, it is discuss an issue. Sometimes they'll ask you whether you agree or disagree with the statement. Sometimes they ask you to offer a solution to a problem. These are the general questions that are asked. 90% of the time, it is just discuss. A statement is given to you and you're asked to discuss. Sometimes they ask, do you agree with this statement, or give us your reasons for it? Sometimes they say, what is the solution to this? Okay, those are the three main types of questions asked on an issue. What do they test? Why do they have this WAT session? Earlier, you had a group discussion, right? And most of the time, you came out frustrated because you were not allowed to speak in the group discussion. There was somebody who talked a lot, there was somebody who shouted a lot, and you could not express your views. So this is your chance to express your views on an issue uninterrupted. You don't have to give you cannot give the excuse that they didn't allow me to speak, right? So it tests your ability to understand the topic and to address a topic clearly and logically. They want to test how well you think, how well you express your ideas, and instead of speaking, you are asked to write. So by your ability to address the issue given, what do I mean? Your essay has to be relevant to the topic asked. The topic would ask something and you should not speak about something else. What exactly is the question asking me to do? And your essay has to be the answer to the question asked, right? The second thing is how well you express yourself. So your presentation of ideas, how well you put across your views, right? That this and this comes with your language and your presentation skills. Your knowledge of the subject, what kind of points are you giving? What kind of examples are you giving? What kind of are you do you know enough about the topic to give some data about it, some statistics about it? So generally they are looking at your language. Your language has to be obviously easy to read, easy to understand. Do not go for flowery language. Second is the content. Try to see if you can substantiate your points with reasons and examples and statistics, and make sure there is a thread in your essay instead of just giving one idea after another. And I'd say, so what's your point finally? You should tie your ideas together logically and coherently. Start with the introduce the topic, give your views on it, and then give a good conclusion. So, how do you write an essay? These are the steps. I told it in the last class also. The first step, even before you put pen to paper, is to read and restate the topic in your own words so that you understand it. Very important. What is the topic asking me to do? If you read it in two, three, four different ways, the points will automatically come to you. Is it asking, can I agree? Do I agree or do I disagree with the topic? If I agree, why do I agree? What points and reasons can I give? I can state this example, I can state this example. If I disagree, what are the points I can give? What are the reasons? What are the examples I can give? Finally, how do I tie it together? So, as you are reading the topic, the points would occur to you. When they occur to you, please form a brainstorm all the points you can and put it down on your paper, one corner of your answer sheets. Put it down quickly in bullet points, in telegraphic language, in whatever way you want, so that you have your ideas. Either they are for and against, or they can be perspectives. They can, not all topics can be broken down to I agree, I disagree, right? In some topics you just have to take different perspectives, right? Political, social, economic, legal, whatever. Put these points across from a political point of view, from a social point of view, from an economic point of view. Or you can look at it in terms of, there was once a statement, there was once a topic given either for GD or an essay, I don't remember. The status of women in India is improving. So you can agree with the topic, disagree with the topic, and give your points. Or you can break it up into perspectives. Do you mean the urban Indian woman or rural Indian woman? Do you mean the rich, the middle class, or the poorer sections of society? Status of different segments of Indian women has, well, for some, nothing has changed. For some, there's been a huge change. So, what if you are talking of this segment, this segment, this segment, you can talk about the status of Indian women in terms of urban Indian women, rural Indian women, and in terms of rich, middle class, and poor, educated and uneducated. Or you can say, yes, it is improving. It is improving from this point of view. They're getting more educational opportunities, they're getting more employment opportunities, socially also. So they're getting more rights. The law is also empowering them. We are empowering them in parliament. So in every way, the status is improving. Yes, there are still areas to be addressed, such as this. And you can sum up your point. So the way you put across your essay, the structure of your essay depends on the points that you have. But when you are thinking of the points, it's good to either break it down into a for and against essay or into a perspectives essay. So once you have your points, then you decide which is the best way to write my essay. That is the third step, where you say, all right, how would I write my essay? So you think of the outline of your essay. So steps 1 and 2 are basically the planning part of your essay. Step 3 is outlining, where you can jot down the outline, or you can just think about it and you say, all right, how do I start? So my introduction, do I have enough? Do I know a quote which can start with which I can start this topic? Do I know any relevant statistics? Do I know, or do I start directly? Do I at least say why this topic is relevant, and an incident that happened, or suppose that there's a topic on war, right? You can relate it. The relevance is the two big areas. One is the Gulf, Israel Palestinian, Israel Hamas conflict, and the other is the Ukraine conflict, which again has brought war on the doorstep of every nation. It's not just Ukraine, Russia, Israel, and the Palestine which is being affected. We all are being affected by the war, and you say this is why this topic is relevant. And then you start, or you start directly, right? Then you think of important examples and statistics. After that, you decide, okay, what order of points should I use? Should I mention, okay, why is the topic relevant? That will be my intro. For my first point, I'll mention this, I'll give this example. For my second point, P1, P2, intro is your paragraph 1. The main part of your essay is paragraph 2 and 3. And finally, you decide, okay, how do I conclude my essay? Have this in your head, or have this in your rough paper, on your rough paper, before you actually start writing the essay, because you're given only one side of a sheet of paper. If you cross out a line, you're wasting space. You won't have either the you not have enough space to write something else. You may have 10 points and you don't have space to write. So always think first. The first 2-3 minutes of those 10-15 minutes that you have, at least spend 2 minutes in planning, 12 minutes in writing, and then 1 minute to review your essay, see if there are any, silly mistakes in grammar or spelling that you've made. Did you write THERE instead of THEIR, or whatever? Just go through it once, add something here, add something there. All right, that's how you write your essay. Introduction, if you know a good anecdote, if you know a good quote, if you have startling statistics, you can start off that way, or you can directly start the essay, or you can mention why is the topic important or relevant, and then give. For the body, as I said, 3 paragraphs, even 2 paragraphs is fine, but it should have enough examples and points. Finally, in your conclusion, what do? You sum up the main points. So introduction can be explain why the topic is relevant, and then give your main points, or start directly by stating your stand on the issue. All right. Any questions so far? Keep typing in. The moment you have a question, type it in. There's a small lag. I can look at it and answer. All right. So the main part of your essay, before you start writing that, think clearly. I should mention this first, then this, then this. For this, I will give my personal opinion or reason. Follow it up with this example. Then I would give the expert opinion that I read in the newspaper yesterday, and then I'm going to follow it up with this fact. Maybe I'll give some rough statistics. Remember, don't bluff. All right, don't make up numbers unless you're really sure. Okay, and then you'd say, for my conclusion, this is what I would do. For any good essay should follow the principle of 1 paragraph, 1 point. So paragraph 1 is the introduction, where you tell us your stand on an issue, where you explain the relevance of a topic. Paragraph 2 would be advantages of a particular policy. Paragraph 3 would be disadvantages of a particular policy. Paragraph 4 would be the conclusion, where you say that the advantages far outnumber the disadvantages, so it's a good idea. So the moment the examiner reads the essay, in 1 minute, he or she can say, oh God, this is a fantastic essay. This is definitely a 7 out of 10 essay, or a 6 out of 10 essay. And then he or she reads it again and says, you know what? I think I can add another half to this. So the first impression that they get is from the structure of your essay, that you should be able to get the main point the moment you glance through it in 1 minute. That should be the key. And that comes with lot of practice. All right. So for example, if the 1 year the topic was, is dowry The topic was dowry, an evil or a necessary evil. Okay. Now this student said dowry is out and out an evil. There is no necessity part in that. Dowry is a great evil. What are the reason you are giving that? Marriage is a bond, a companionship. It is not a, it's not something which is, it's not a transaction, it's not a monetary transaction. Many young brides have lost their lives due to the greed of the groom and his family, and due to this social evil they've just not they lost their life, they lost their dignity, they face a lot of hardship, physical, mental. Examples, give examples of dowry deaths, give example of harassment by in-laws. Then restate the point for emphasis that we have a law, but despite that, law itself is not a law. Okay, so you've made one point. Then go to the next. Clear? So one paragraph, one point. Be very clear. Paragraph one, I'll mention this. Paragraph two, I'll mention this. I'll give all the examples. Paragraph three, I'll mention this. And in your conclusion, you summarize the main points of your essay. In other words, you should not just cut paste the sentences you have written for your main points. You have to write it in other words so the examiner doesn't think she's just repeated whatever she's written earlier. That should not be the impression you give. All right. Keep writing, and it will become second habit to you. If you have only 1 week, it doesn't matter. If you have 10 days, it doesn't matter. You can at least write 2 essays or 3 essays. That is the important part, so that it gives you confidence. You don't sit there in the examination hall and look at the essay, and that's the first time you're writing in the last 5-7 years. That's a bad situation to be in. So at least practice a few essays, a few topics. I have given a few topics in the last session. I have mentioned some 10 topics. In this session also, I'll be giving you some more topics. All right, today's topic, students who had an interview today were given this topic. Increasing taxes on the rich will not help the weaker sections of the society. So you can make this an agree disagree topic. You would say, yes, it is true. Why? Because when you tax the rich will not have an incentive to invest in your country. So what will they do? They will try to go to foreign shores. So who is gaining from their uh, being rich? Who's gaining from their actions? Who's gaining from their business? People outside, not people in your country. So the more you tax, there will be tax evasion. Why am I earning so much and why am I giving up so much? So they'll try ways to evade tax. Is there some way I can push my money somewhere? They'll find loopholes and do something. So you have lot of examples of people who have gone and stayed abroad because you tax. So increasing taxes on the rich will not necessarily lead to more tax money for the government, more revenue for the government. It would government will lose revenue. Not just that, you will miss the benefits of having a rich industrialist and entrepreneur on your shores. All right. The second thing, of course, is even if they pay up and even if they do anything, they lose the incentive to invest. They lose more tax. Just make them feel I'm earning so much money just to give it away. But apart from that, even if they did pay, that has to be implemented. That has to be used for the good of the society. And generally, it gets wasted in some useless scheme or the other. So most of the time, only a very small part, a fraction of the money meant for the weaker section really reaches the weaker sections. You give some other points and build your essay on that. Build a 200 to 250 word essay on that. Okay, that's all you will have time for. 10-15 minutes, can't think of anything. All right. Now, last year, these were the topics. How do you think you will fare on these topics? If you were to give a TED talk, what would it be? What would you like to speak about? Okay, don't use the word experience in that essay. These were the instructions given to the student. If I remember right, one of the students, she is an animal activist. Okay, for animal rights activist, and she said that I want to make people aware of the rights of animals, of how we are ill treating them without even being conscious of it. So she said, I would like to raise awareness in people about animal rights and how we are consciously or unconsciously hurting them. Okay, and that was a fantastic essay. All right, second one. Again, this is a hypothetical case. If you were a superhero, what powers would you want to have? Okay, do not use the word power. What would you think about it? Remember, this is very personal, very personal. All you have to do is justify your points. That's it. I remember some lady said that, I would like to eradicate poverty. And later in the essay, in the interview, they asked her the same question, and they said that, don't you think that your uh, what you said is not feasible? And she said, no, you said I was a superhero. If I had the power, what would I do? That's the first thing I would do. So all you need is to justify your points and have conviction in that point. You are giving me the power to do anything I want. You're saying you're a superhero. So where is, if it is impractical, then I wouldn't be a superhero. So you're giving me the power. Why wouldn't I? It's a dream. I know it's a dream, but I'm imagining a situation where I have the power, and that's the first thing I would like to do. So who why think about practicality at that point? What's your dream? What do you want to do? If I had the power, I don't have it. But if I had it, this is what I would like to do. This would be my priority. That is what you need to convince the panel, convince the examiner in the essay, when the reader rather. All right. Uh, Very common topic last year. A lot of students mentioned this. In fact, I got is the technology transition, is it good or bad for the demographic dividend? India needs more smart villages than smart cities. The other one they said is, Indian villages, are they a source, are they are assets, or are they are liabilities? So how would you tackle this topic? All right. One thing said that one topic, that topic was that jingoism uh, and globalization do not go hand to hand. The same thing in other ways. This guy says jingoism is warranted in the face of troublesome neighboring nations. Our neighborhood, we have nations which are not on the friendliest terms with us. In such a situation, uh, excessive nationalism or jingoism is justified. Do you agree? Do you disagree? All right. And because there is so much talk on mental issues now, this is a topic just like gender issue. There would be a couple of gender topics. At least one group every day gets a gender topic. Women facing glass ceilings, gender, women's empowerment, and female feticide, and things like that. Right now, the last couple of years, there are a lot of topics on mental issues. Is it okay not to be not okay? Think about it. I would actually want you to write a topic on either topic one or two, okay, then another on this, and definitely one on this. Okay, so practice on past year topics, at least two or three before the day of your interview, so that you feel confident when you write. And remember, just express your views. Don't try to impress anybody, just express your views. They are looking at your ability to communicate your views effectively. If you can do that, you get a good score. Don't have to worry too much about it. All right. A lot of questions you people keep asking. I've got this much percentage. What college will I get into? What are my chances of getting into this college or that? Look at our college predictor, which will do a deep profile examination and tell you what B school is the best for you if you have such doubt. If you have questions on our courses, on our courses, or what we have for non-CAT exams or for CAT 2024, do fill this form. One of our counselors will call you and talk to you and make sure that you get into the right course. All right, any question you have about our courses, CAT and non-CAT, you can fill this form and ask, because I wouldn't know. I mean, I do know what are some of the courses, what are some of the test series exams, but according to your background, the time you have, what kind of preparation do you want to go for, uh, fill this form. One of our counselors will have a one-on-one call with you and explain to you what is the ideal course for you to take. All right. I'll see you very soon. All the best with your interviews and essay writing. As I said, practice, write a couple of essays before the exam, so that on the day of the exam, you're not lost. All right. If you have any doubts or questions, fill this form or put that question on the chat. I will see it and reply to it. All right. I will see you again very soon. I think on Tuesday in my editorial analysis class. Join our social media channels so that you are uh, up to date on all our uh, classes and sessions on YouTube, on the app, and our paid sessions. All right. See you on Tuesday. Until then, bye bye.